of the areas where there's so much interesting work to be done, and there's so much to come, and there's so much that we haven't seen yet. Input devices. You have to get something, you have to create a model to print in 3D. Anna will show you something shortly in this space. But I think there's a lot of, you can go and invent things, you can invent hardware devices like scanners, 3D mouse, things like that. There's a lot of software development, obviously, all sorts of things will be invented. And there's a whole area of importing existing files, 2D, 3D scans, grabs, photographic images, converting them for 3D printing. And there's a lot of this stuff's going on already, but there's a sort of, yeah, how do I get this? There's, what's that? Printer controls. This is a desperately horrible area if you're using a low-end printer. Even the printers that are supposed to be plug and play, they really do tend to rely on open source software. Really does again remind me of the early days of going online with an IP connection on the internet. You have to use something that's really put together by people who totally understand the coding of the technology but never had a consumer view of the world in their minds. I think the whole gun printing escapade, I mean the V&A have acquired that defence distributed, they tried to acquire the first gun that they printed, the actual printed gun from the States, failing to get an export license for that actual gun from the States. For their exhibition they printed their own version locally and have exhibited it. The guy who made it in the States refused to just put it in his pocket and bring it over on an aeroplane on the basis that he thought he'd get arrested on the way over. And I think that's just encapsulates an incredible sort of a bunch of issues around that thing of, it's a dangerous technology. A lot of people are scared of it, and a lot of people looking at it. There's a whole set of IP issues around that, and Alice touched on this again. Can people steal what you've made and scan it and reproduce it? Is it a whole? Someone said, "Oh, we're waiting for our Napster moment in 3D printing," so we're going to go through that whole thing again. It's a lot of different issues, but there's a lot of stuff to be done in that space.